Hello and welcome to the Daily Windups Afternoon Update. Today we are seeing very strong storms ahead of this very strong cold front pushing southeastward. Right now it's just passing Wisconsin and Iowa and Nebraska, and ahead of it there's very strong storms. They've been weakening over the past couple hours, but they could refire later today. Now here's the radar out of Indiana, and these storms were actually a lot stronger a couple hours ago, and Ohio just might get a respite from this. They're moving very fast towards the east, probably around 45 miles an hour. There is one thing I'd like to show. This is the cold front where it is right now, and these are the lapse rates for the Ohio Valley. They're anywhere from 7.5 to 8 degrees C per kilometer. And what this means is if storms do refire in the Ohio Valley, it'll have the potential for very strong winds, downbursts, updrafts, all of that good stuff, along with hail and the other good stuff that goes along with severe weather. Right now it doesn't look like it's going to happen, but if it does fire, the conditions are there for very strong winds. Now this is the NAM model for 24 hours out. This is the 12Z NAM 24 hours out. And where you see this upper red line where I drew, that's where the cold front should be. It should be past Ohio, sinking further south into Kansas. And the NAM down here, where I also have this semicircle, is starting to pick up on the idea of the tropical wave becoming something more than just a tropical wave. And this is the NAM model for 48 hours out. Now as you can see, the trough is pushed much further southward. It's now into Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, North and South Carolina. It's starting to dig into Oklahoma and Kansas. And the NAM model brings this disorganized area of convection from the tropical wave to the middle Mexican coast. Now here's the tropics wide view, and up here we have Tropical Storm Gordon, and on the left side we have the remnants of Tropical Depression 7. Now this is the latest visible imagery of Gordon, still 40-45 mile an hour winds. It looks fairly impressive since yesterday and this morning. It hasn't gained a lot of strength, but it's looking better. Once again, it's not going to be any threat to land, only shipping interests. Now this is the wider view of Tropical Depression, the remnants of Tropical Depression 7. As you can see, there's not much there. It's a very broad low. It's loosened up from this morning, and it's a very broad low center over the southern Bay of Campeche, and it will reemerge within the next 3 to 9 hours. And this line that I've drawn here is basically where the GFS and the NAM want to take this system. They want to bring it inland in Mexico, and then have a right-hand northeastward turn into the middle upper Texas coast or even Louisiana. And this is the close-up view of the remnants of Tropical Depression 7. I drew these lines because the furthest line out is basically where the low pressure is at this point. It's a very broad low pressure system. The smallest one is where it has to go into the Bay of Campeche to start to get organized. So it'll be a little while. The hurricane hunters are going to fly tomorrow if necessary, around 3 p.m. Central Time. This is the European model, this morning's European model, for Wednesday the 22nd. And what's interesting about this is the ensembles here. All this purple area along the Mexican, Texas, Louisiana coast, this is all where the ensemble members are saying that there's going to be a tropical disturbance. This bright pink area is where the strongest model says it's going to be. And that would be near Houston or the Louisiana coast. The NAM is much further west with this. And this is the GFS 72 hours out. And as you can see, it's really backed off again from this morning. Last night it almost dropped it. This morning it came back alive, and this afternoon it seems to be trying to develop it again. So, like I said, the track takes it from the area that I showed you where it's at right now into the middle Mexican coast, and then takes a right-hand northeastward turn. And this could bring a lot of rain to Texas, where we could be in for some flooding if all the models verify with the cold front and a tropical wave and all this. We could really have some rain. And this is the last model I wanted to show you. This is the GFS 120 hours out, or 5 days. And as you can see, it doesn't really show any development of a tropical system other than a lot of rain. And it appears that if there is no tropical development, Texas is going to get a lot of rain. How far inland, I'm not sure, but along the coastal areas, even in Louisiana, could see a tremendous amount of rain over the next week. With the cold front and this tropical wave moving in, we could have inches and inches of rain. So be prepared for flood warnings, everybody. I'll have a daily briefing for tomorrow morning. For the daily windup, I'm Donald Flowers.